Please welcome the incredible Demi.
Stand full of heart, don't know I'm the Tin Man. Like it out full moon biting, fist fighting and biting. Blood in my veins, lethal, I know I'm the king. Ride like an angel from hell. Ask how I'm feeling, I'll tell you I'm swell. Cause I can't get a full ass without half-assing. Can't get attention without ski masking. Break the rules like a shark in the game. Mix genres and
Yeah. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up, let's talk. Let's talk. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up, let's talk. Let's talk. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up. Chop it up, chop it up, let's talk. Chop it up.
Yo, it's the Chop It Up podcast, man. It's Hawklyfe.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Murrls, and it's dark out here, but we got a bright shining light to bring up in the building. We got a special guest here today. Hawk, can you give the introductions?
Yeah, man, we got independent artist Demi. You know, I had to use my side note on that. Demi God, introduce yourself.
Yo, my name's Demi God Status. I'm just doing my thing, trying to find my place out here, and just having a lot of fun doing it. Met some people like Murrls, now met Hawk. It's been an experience, you know.
Definitely, man. That's what we do. We try to give people an experience and a platform to get their music out. First of all, tell the people where you're from.
Well, it's a loaded question, really. Whenever people ask me that, there's like two ways I can answer: where did I grow up and where I was born. So I'll just give the full picture. I was born in East Africa, Tanzania, home of the cradle of civilization, the Gorge. So I was born there, lived there for like 3 months. My dad got a job as a chemical engineer. We moved to Japan, and he brought us with. So I lived in Japan for about 7 years. I got a lot of Japanese influence and European influence because it's almost right there. And then, we won a visa lottery, came to America, and, I've just been stunting ever since. And then one way or another got into music because, just been around it for a long time. And, yeah, been living in Phoenix for a long time. It's been fun. It's been fun out here.
Nice. So you ready to run everything but the presidency, is that right?
I mean, if the option's there, I'd understand that it's against the law, so it's like, all right, if it's against the law, cool. I just want to see where I can get with all this, push potential, maximize it and all that.
100%. And you've been putting that work. I mean, we got the SPE Collective, Street Politicians Entertainment. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Yeah. Even though I've listened to it a couple times, so I mean, how could I not get it right? We got the latest, I guess, EP released, the Smorgasbord. So when it comes to, I know you're a multifaceted dude. We've had our talks. When it comes to production style, when it comes to the lyrics, when it comes to mixing, what's your idea of the perfectionistic aspect of it? What's your idea of perfection?
So my idea of perfection is real simple, and I never thought I'd get a question this easy to answer because it just fits completely what I'm about. There's beauty in life in the perfect. There's beauty in symmetry. There's beauty in all the things that we find as normal, like a flower or like a field of green or like a blue sky or stuff like that. My art is to just show that there is imperfection in everything, because I'm under the impression that even in paradise, it's prison if you can't get out, and it could be hell in that sense. And we could all take what we do for granted. I'm sure you hear a lot of artists, celebrities, and all that are just they're not happy, they're going through divorce, they don't have a good family life and all that. But it's good to keep everything in balance, recognize all that, acknowledge it especially, which is what I do with the glitching and the tripping up in my beats, and just kind of roll with it and make it become a new normal that you can kind of get accustomed to. So my music is not rudimentary by any means. I follow people like Flying Lotus. There's a group called Space Talk that I've been following for a bit, Thundercat and all that. So I try to put that in hip-hop and try to kind of, I guess, put a rock and metal influence to it as well, because a lot of my tracks like Toxic or Fallout, I've been told more than once that it's they are listening to someone that the main singer of Rage Against the Machine. I guess it's a thing. Let's capitalize on it. So that's the big picture.
So many artists in the rap music genre have dipped into rock and roll. So it's interesting you said the rock aspect. A lot of artists have done it. Few have accomplished their goal. Artists that have accomplished their goals like Lil Wayne, Well, Nelly, you
Kid Cudi.
I mean, run the jewels even. I mean, you look at people like that, and they take like heavy guitar rhythms and put it in their song. It's like, damn, this works, and it's like, oh yeah, you can get into it. So my thing is, it's great because like when shit goes live, I could easily perform one or two of those songs for a rock crowd and get them going for it because they're like, oh shit, there's a heavy guitar. Oh shit, there's a riff. Oh shit, that bass. Oh shit, that drum layout. And then it's me with the vocals that kind of tie it all in, and it's kind of bridging the gap to hip hop, I guess. And which is what I'm trying to do, and show it's not all just cut dry, lots of ad libs, hard beats, which there's beauty in that too, but that's not it. You know, if you want a finer taste, if you want a glass of wine, here you go. You know, here's Smorgasbord, here's the No One's Hiring project, here's the Melting Pot project. You know, it's a big picture, man. It's a huge picture. You know, you take what you want from it. We all love things in a different way. So it's important to respect that, but it's important to also bridge the gap in that sense where it's like, okay, you like this, okay, let me give you something that you can like too. In my way.
Absolutely.
So when we're coming to discussing your stuff, I feel like your production value and your lyrics have very different style, not stylized as they don't conform together well, but they take many different influences. So let's go with your production first. When it comes to your production, what are your biggest influences into how you make your beats, how you mix your beats, and such of that nature?
I'm trying to think specifically, especially for stuff like Get the Picture and Electrify, which was like that took 2 days, and everyone like says the same thing. That guitar is awesome. That violin is awesome, and I'm like, all right, I guess people like violin and me not to like spend too much time on shit. And then you listen to things like NTB 99, which has like the cutout from 99 Problems. So I guess I'm trying to introduce like a balance, I guess, where NTB 99 has a more lo-fi beat, and I made sure it was very like airy, but still had a solid kick bass to it, which would chop in and out rudiment like normally or like abstractly and all that. But at the same time, it's like, oh shit, Jay-Z, like there's a Jay-Z sample in this right in the middle in your face. Oh fuck, you know. And every now and then it'll come back in. I got 99 problems with a bitch. Even in the end, the flip of it, it's just so uncomfortable. But like you have to acknowledge it, that it was there. You know, there's no mistake about it. So I guess that's pretty much what I do with my production, where it's like I want the little things to be noticed through the pauses, through the breaks, through the airiness, through the you can't really hold on to any structure, but like you have to kind of bop to it because like it's funky, you know. There's a lead to it. There's a feeling to it.
Yeah, I've listened to your music, and you're a very versatile artist. I can clearly see that that's only the tip of the iceberg. It's for me what it is. I realize the universal nature of music, and when you hear that certain sound, it stands out, and you want to hear more. Like, and I'm like, that's that flavor. And I'm knowing, I'm like, this artist probably got like 2 to 3 years experience. But imagine if you had that person standing on the side and the tipping over just a little bit more. Because what you got, I saw the traction, I see what you got going on, I hear the music, I hear the vibe. I just see the potential. And that makes me wonder where your influences come from, because your style is so versatile.
Yeah, lyrically, where do you get your influences from? Because I know it's very different than just your production influences.
It's hard to say, man. So I grew up listening to a lot of Canadian underground artists. So I believe Sweatshop Union fit into that. I know Madchild fit into that. I know Evidence fit into that. I know Prevail fit into that. So, and it's because I came from literally the other side of the world that like it was a trajectory of like an arc of influence where I got a lot of telepop music. I got a lot of 07, you know. I got a lot of Slipknot. I got a lot of Bring Me the Horizon. I got a lot of what is it? Whitechapel, Lamb of God. I got a lot of it's just I've picked pieces from everything that I like, and then I fucking sandwich them together in a way that's natural, just fucking around with shit, like getting like, cause I literally like my roommate who is skinny, who I just finished a project with, the Nomadic Thoughts. He's even told me, he's like, you're just fucking crazy.
I have a question. Is the dog okay? So Dogface, shout outs to Dogface,
Yeah.
leaks me everything. We have an agreement where I leak him everything I do, and he
Damn.
leaks me everything he does, and we keep it
Damn.
to
All right.
ourselves.
All right.
Is the beats that Skinny was on gonna be on that project? I have to know.
Which project? Which project?
The one you were just talking about. He sent me
No
two
matter what?
beats that were matched together. Yeah. He sent me two beats that were matched together.
I think that made up How, if I remember correctly. How was completely Dogface.
Yes, it was How. That's what the
Yeah,
name was on it.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. So what do you ask? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not getting.
Basically, now that we're clear, essentially, I just wanted to know if it was on there, bro. That it was How was hard. Dogface sent me this, and he was like, "Peep this shit," and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah,
Skinny
it's
out
on
here
there.
putting us all to shame.
Is currently on there, man. Like I don't get like the more emotional stuff, which is why I'm trying to like work with people like Skitty and stuff. But How, like, I guess he'd been holding on to all of that for a long time, where it's just like it came out the way it did.
No kidding. It didn't even start that way. Like it
No.
sort of like bled into more and more intense subjects and opinions and ideas, and it was intense to say the least.
Yeah, it's humbling working with someone that is as talented as my friend Skinny, because it kind of just shows that like no matter where I'm at, there's someone else that can flawlessly do it. Because I'll tell you what, even if you ask Skinny, and I tell him every day, I'm like, I want to bully you. I want to bully you just for fun. I wanna fucking sharpen your sword so hard that like when I put you on a mic, it's fucking beautiful. And the Nomadic Thoughts was just that. You know, I literally pushed to the potential, to the limits, to the point where like even to this day he's like, dude, those nights were hell, and I'm like, yeah, but like look, you know what I mean? Like this is what happened. And I tell people, like, I walk around the house like I'm high energy, man. Like I walk around the house, I'm like, don't get comfy around me. Like I'm a come after that ass at some point, you know, and we'll get into it, no problem.
Right, like I grew up. A lot of people say I'm an old soul because I quote a lot of old sayings, and I took a lot of advice from a lot of elderly people in life. I've always been that type of person. Someone told me to always, before I act, listen, observe, and take it in. And there was a saying that nothing beats failure without trying. So, and I always felt that if you give it something 100% on top of loving what you do, if you keep pushing towards it, you'll succeed. And that was our basis for what we're doing now. I know the music scene in the U.S. is totally different from Canada. So how did you transition from the Canada music scene to the U.S. music scene?
Honestly, just time. I mean, around when I was like sixth, seventh grade, a lot of my influence was honestly from my brother, where it was like he'd listen to something and be like, "I'll listen to this," or I'd be playing SSX Tricky and I'm like, "Ooh, Too Hot to Touch is gross. Like, who's this artist?" And that's how I started listening to Mad Child, and I was just like, "Oh, this is nice. Like, let's explore this." And like I tell people, man, I don't get when I go down a rabbit hole with my music, especially where my influence comes from. I don't do one or two albums when I want an artist. I've got discographies, I've got live, I've got garage edits, I've got everything. Especially one person I think is like Slipknot. I have everything Slipknot. Oh, My Chemical Romance too. Everything, because I went through a phase. I got everything. Wherever it was, I scraped it, I got it. I still think about this day where I'm like, I can put that type of influence into this. Something like emo, My Chemical Romance shit into hip hop with like the chords and shit or how it. So it's just kind of like, you know, I'm very open. I sit there and listen to people, and I've come to understand in life that like if I talk to someone and I don't get anything out of them, I'm not listening.
Exactly.
That's on me. I need to keep my ears open and sit there and be like, okay, oh, this is what they're saying. This is where they're coming from. And in most cases, I even tell people, I'm like, listen, I know I'm not right. I know in most cases I'm probably wrong, but I'm trying to learn. So if we can reach a common ground, a compromise. Cool. We're homies. We're getting to know each other. This, that. Let's find a place to meet. And then usually it comes out in music too, where I'm like, yo, what music listen to? Yo, have you listened to Sebastian? HAL, listen to this. It's like hardcore dubstep beat, and like it's kind of Daft Punk, but more so like heavy synths. So, and then they'll give me something where it's like, oh, listen to this, Utada Hikaru. Utada Hikaru, who's that? Oh yeah, Japanese artist. She's the one that made the music for Kingdom Hearts. Oh, went into her fucking rabbit hole. I found Colors. I found it's like 1 or 2 studio albums, and there's another Japanese only album which I listened to. So it's just I'm literally ping ponging off of like so many different places that like it's hard to get like a tangible idea of my influence, and that's why it's hard to answer that question.
I understand, like, because when I tell people I listen to certain stuff, like, people don't understand. Like, I listen to Labyrinth, I listen to Passenger, I listen to Alan Stone. I like what's his name from over there in the UK, James. The song he did, Impossible, James Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
I yeah. Yeah, and I listen to that, and and what that does for me is what those artists all have in common is they know how to reach a crowd with their words. Their voice is beautiful, but it's how they relay it, and I like to take that and add that to my hip hop to make a complete story. You know, a complete sound. Your sound identifies you, especially if you stand out in the crowd. So, but
It's a thumbprint.
yeah, definitely a thumbprint. Definitely a thumbprint. Like you were saying, you was telling me about the making it, your music and the process. If there was any artist that you could collab with, who would it be?
Flying Lotus. Easy.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Hey,
that was
we're in the
such a
speed
low ball
round.
for me. Yeah. No, that was almost too simple. Yeah, no, I've been so like I constantly flex on people. I am one of the top 1% listeners in the world for Flying Lotus on Spotify. I
Yeah.
have the proof in my cell phone. I took a picture of it the day I found out. I was like, oh shit, they have so much. And like, it's funny because like most of the shit I listen to is not even on Spotify. Most of the
Yeah.
shit they listen to is like garage edits. And a guy named Captain Murphy, which is not on Spotify at all, the YouTube one. But he has an album called Duality, which is literally like
Oh
a
man,
process of like putting
yeah.
people into a
R.I.P.
cult.
Captain Murphy.
He's not dead. It's Flying Lotus.
He's God.
No.
He's not dead, but he's God.
He'll come back. I have hopes. Man. But you know, so it's, and I love
The same amount of hope I have for Doom coming back, man.
for real, and I love twisted shit, man. Like
Yeah.
like that's I love exploring like the harsher aspects and like tying it in a little bit.
So we've gotten
Go ahead.
into a bunch, and this is a question I like to ask a bunch of people, especially since you're well traveled. Maybe we'll get a different answer. What's your top food eating place? Like, where do you like to eat? Where is the grub?
In the world?
Yeah, where's the grub? What's the
Oh,
best tasting
fuck.
fucking grub?
Okay, so this might have changed because Corona, especially. One of my top places to go is a place called Yakiniku in San Francisco. In San Francisco's, I don't know how to put it. They're not exactly sanitary right now, so things might have changed. I have people that live there that they're like, no, it's disgusting here. Damn. But back when I
Okay,
went,
got
which is
you.
like 5-6 years ago, when everything was cool and Harambe was still alive. You know, that
Damn.
place was fire. You go there, you pay $30.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Harambe, dude. Everything went wrong, man. How did we go so wrong?
I have. And he was doing nothing but protecting the child, but they had to do what they had to do.
Bop, 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 and everyone in the world's like, shit, consequences.
Man, God damn.
But you know, back then, like you go, you pay $30, all you can eat fucking meat, dude. I would fast. And I would go straight from work, get on a plane, sleep on a plane after taking a shot because I hate planes. Go to San Francisco, get out, go to the hotel room, explore this, that. End of the day, 6 p.m. after fasting from like 8 p.m. the day before. Go to this place. Dude, I leave, I have to fucking unbuckle my belt, release a few notches, maybe see if I can drill another one with a knife or something. Like,
Sound,
yeah.
sound like me on Golden Corral. Shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
Get the buffet, you know what I'm saying?
For
Oh,
real, for real.
for real. You say you've been to Japan. Anyone that knows me personally, and I give people a glimpse into my life, like I told him, my dad loves anime for one.
Ooh.
And for two, he's also a big Bruce Lee fan.
Oh yeah.
Um, we have watched every Bruce Lee movie that came out, every karate movie. I'm a big Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, anything dealing with karate. Did in any of your travels? Did you ever get to experience that, or maybe learn a few things in that regard?
Um, hmm, not so much. I was too young. I grew up with a lot of anime, and I've read a lot of anime, and I've watched a lot of anime, and I've read twice the amount. Um, so like my litany in that is fucking vast. So as far as my Japanese influence, that's the one thing that I held on to, where it's like anime and manga that I can read and watch. Um, so I grew up with a lot of, like, I grew up when Akira came out. Dragon Ball was a thing, Zoids was a thing, Gundam SD was a thing, G Gundam was a thing, and I got a lot of fucking mobile Gundam influence too. Um, which you could tell, especially with like some of my art and even my background, where it's like, machines and shit are part of it. Um, but as far as like martial arts and shit, not too much. I was too young. I wasn't really around that. I came to America to do that, and it's kind of washed down over here. No offense, compared to Japan.
None taken. It's fucking crazy
None
over there.
taken.
Yeah,
Trust me,
here
that next
it's
Karate Kid is not here.
here. Yeah, no, here it's too. You're basically paying to graduate. It's not about learning the discipline of camaraderie and learning to respect your dojo by having everyone clean, on their knees, rag on the floor, wipe, 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 wipe. That builds character, man. You see that stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
Or you hear it, especially from friends, where it's like, this is what they do, this is what happens. It's a lot of small things that build discipline. Um, but yeah, no, it's I mean, okay, so like another big thing about Japanese influence, a lot of people, when they hear martial arts, one big person that I like to pay homage to is someone named Miyamoto Musashi, which at a young age he started dueling. He never lost, and he used to not only fight, but he used to play mental warfare against people.
Isn't that the dude where he appeared at sunrise? Like he
Mm,
came to meet his opponent at sunrise or
mhm,
something?
mhm.
Mm.
He went to meet his opponent at sunrise late. Okay, came there, took his oar, broke it, sharpened it into a makeshift sword, made his opponent watch while he was doing all of this. Okay, fought him, whooped his ass because his opponent was fucking irritated and fucking to the jump on everything, and like it was telegraphed and all that, and beat him. Fucking use the other oar paddle out.
Jesus.
That's you, there's a perspective of savagery in that type of behavior. Holy shit! Because it takes you down to their level or to your level, where it's like, I'm not taking you seriously. You're a joke. Let me sharpen this. Okay, I'm not even using a real sword. Beat him. All right, I'm out. So there is that in Japanese influence as well.
But yeah, there was also a lot of planning in that aspect. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he waited late after sunrise. That way the sun would be in his opponent's eye.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like the art of war aspect to it. And
Yeah,
it's
you
really
keep your
interesting.
back to the sun. You keep your back to the sun, and then you move so you put the sun on your right side. So when you lift up your sword, if you're assuming like the regular stance, your arm will block the sun, and you'll be able to know exactly what's happening and not be blocked by obstruction. It's all mind games, man. And he made a book called Five Rings of Power that has all of it.
Mm.
And then basically the whole book goes to like a detail of how to attack people, how to get the upper hand, the breakdown of like why a Japanese sword, the short sword, is the best combo compared to like a long sword or a halberd or a spear or anything like that. And at the very end, the man has the fucking audacity to sit there and say, forget everything. All of this, the last part of the book is called Book of Void, where he's like, all of this, it doesn't apply until it does, and it applies until it doesn't. So understand that you have to be able to be versatile, move like water, and understand that everything is in the void until it becomes solid, and stick to the solid moments. Boom, get it, and then pull back, move with the motions, Boom, it fits into the paradigm. Strike, hit. Okay, it's in the void again. It's beautiful book, beautiful influence.
No, definitely. There's a lot to take from Eastern cultures and different things like that. So I know you're I didn't want to say self-proclaimed because that's not accurate. I know you're big into Mentality equals willpower equals self-improvement, essentially.
No, it's simple. Discipline equals power, man. That's all it is. Shout out to Jocko Willink. He says it all the time. Discipline equals freedom. Sorry, freedom, not power. Discipline equals freedom. If you have the discipline to decide for yourself what is important in life, how much more free can you get than that? Like, what else is there to hold on to in life? You know, every day, wake up, go to the gym, work out, come back, you know, work on music, make connections with people, get some art from a friend, work with my artist, have him on the corner working on a mic, give him influence, you know, tell him, hey man, you're too loud on the mic, so I see if you can flow a little bit, make sure you're more on beat, make sure you're this, you want to use a metronome? Okay, let's try a metronome. Learning things every day, reading, writing, taking time to play video games, not too much, 2-3 hours, then I'm back at it, you know, and then finding time to take care of myself as well. That type of discipline, not everyone has it. Everyone lets life tell them what to do. I'm completely antithesis of that.
That's true. I agree. Tell the people where they can find you, what platforms you're on.
I'm literally on everything. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. But if you want to get my main shit, which is like I can't put on anywhere else because I sample a lot, SoundCloud for sure. And I don't get paid for it at all. You know, it's all free. It's out there. You know, but you know, I just like putting my music out there and exploring with limitless potential and not being, you know, told I can't sample this, I can't use that. So SoundCloud's the place. But I am on everything. You search it, I'm there. Deezer, fucking Napster. The list goes on.
He's
He
everywhere.
is in fucking your mama's couch. There's a CD there somewhere. There's a cassette somewhere. He's there.
Yo, go ahead, cut that pillow real quick.
And if you trying to tell you, and if you're a hater, your mama look like a burnt rat and fell on a trap.
Tell him.
I said that. Now, I say that. Now I know the industry has its pros and cons. What's been the pros and cons for you, and how you've learned from the mistakes that you've made, and how has it helped you grow as an artist?
I most times want to have my cake and eat it.
I understand.
Where I want to. I don't want to say this too callously because I don't want it to seem like I'm manipulative. But I go into a relationship with someone that we're here to have a relationship or we're here to work for a common goal. I expect no more from someone else than I don't expect for myself, if not twice fold. And I am my own worst enemy in fucking trying to find that discipline in myself and be like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't just go out there and ask a man for something without like bridging the gap and having a conversation with them and all that stuff. Like you've gotta, I guess, come at it from a respectful tone and take the patience to take time and give breathing room and make a relationship with someone and then be like, hey, you know, I really like your stuff. I've been listening to a while. Do you mind if we work together? Is that something you're interested in? So it's more like having the conversation is really what's helped me not fuck up and trying to have my cake and eat it too. Because I work slowly in that sense where I'll like try to ask questions, you know, listen to this, and, okay, find out new things about where their influence comes from, you know, genuinely try to have a conversation with someone before being like, hey, like I love your shit. Let's work. Like, do you want to work? I'd love to fucking, you know, put both of our minds together, learn something, and put it out there. And shout out to GB Slowly. He's my dude on that. He almost weekly sends me a new track where he's like, hey, I've been working on this. Is this something you're interested in? And that's how I fell into Toxic, which was one of my songs. And I was like, this is perfect. 6 minutes? Yeah, I have time for all of that. 4 minutes of bars, 2 minutes of instrumental, Alan Watts sample at the end, bing, bang, boom. You know? So definitely, I've learned how to be a better conversationalist in the sense where it's like I carry the conversation with someone, but at the end of the day, like, we're here for a reason. Let's work. And if you don't want, doesn't mean we can't talk, but, you know, I do have a life outside of this, so, you know. But we can talk. You know. So I guess boundaries. Boundaries is the biggest pro I've learned to put. The cons is that I've unfortunately I've worked with people that I found to be distasteful. You know.
Say that again.
Yeah, it's the people that'll like, oh, you know, I got you on this track, and I'm like, bet, and I work on it and I finish it, and they're like, all right, so this is the price, and I'm like, I thought we were just working. What is this about price? They're like, oh well, I want to get paid. I'm like, well, I have tons of other artists that do this for fun, so I mean, you can keep this. And then they're like, oh, I guess you can keep it then. And I'm like, are you letting me keep it because you feel guilty, or are you letting me keep it because we're homies? Because if it's the guilt thing, you can keep it. You know, I'm not trying to work with someone that I don't see as a friend. You know, like I don't like working with people where it's like next thing you know, they're like, oh yeah, that person got cut, you know, fucking Grand Theft Auto shootout, this, that, and then it's like, oh yeah, you have a beat by them, don't you? I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't like that, man. You know. So a lot of vultures in the field that I've been exposed to. Let's put it that way. A lot of vultures.
They are out there, man. They're out there, and I run into them constantly. Like I told Hawk, and I think I told you as well. This dude instantly hit my DMs from a server I was staffing and helping out. You know what I'm saying? Prepping. I'm helping a server prep for that server versus server thing we did, and I'm hoping that in OH we can come at it again with a full force project. It's going to be like another month and a half before they get started. But we should definitely throw some tracks on there.
Let's do it.
Because it's easy advertising more than anything. Easy advertising. But
sure.
The dude I was helping out, he fucking well, I wasn't helping him out. I was just helping the server and the people interested, and they're great people. But some rando fucking DM'd me and was like, you should pay me $50 so I can make your music sound good. And I was like, whoa, bro. Whoa there.
My nigga, I'll do it for free. Send me the fucking stems. I'll do it for free.
Bro, that's what I was saying. I was like, well, I work with people already, and I want to, and the stuff I put out where I mix it, I'm doing that to show my improvement, to show my level of improvement. And I was like, I wouldn't do this, one, because I don't need it, and two, because you're so fucking arrogant.
Yeah, like, oh, I can make your music sound better. Better? Like, I'm trying to make it sound better. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And that's why I don't like to be too pushy with you, where it's like, hey, I'll mix your stuff, because I know that you're like, hey, I want to work on this, and I'm like, bet, let me know whatever you need, I got you, you know.
Yeah,
so,
no, 100%. I like to try to get at least one track with your feature on everything, and at least one track with your mix on every like project I put out, just to show the people that we're working together still, and it's still going good. But at the end of the day, it's up to me to make myself better. Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's that discipline equals freedom.
Deadass. I assure you, as the day is long, discipline equals freedom. There's nothing better than having control on your life, where you decide what's happening, and you know where all the pieces of the puzzle are.
Plus, I've been getting so much information from you, man. Like the teaching a man the fish aspect, almost like the flanger was a godsend. The flanger made things change.
Yeah, it's everything in balance, man. Balance and harmony.
So before we get out of here, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
I almost did the Jesse Lee Peterson, where he's like, "Did you have a good time?" But no.
Yeah. I did, by the way. This is fucking great. I love this.
Appreciate it.
But what's your favorite plugin to use? If you had to go to an island and you only have one plugin, what plugin are you taking?
There's so many. I love the Blood Overdrive. It just fucking compresses vocals and distorts them perfectly. But then again, it's like the spectral analyzer. You see all the frequencies right there for you. You can fucking cut out the ones that you want. But that's only visual, right? You can't do anything with it. All right, I got it. Parametric equalizer. Yeah,
Okay,
I love
coming
that
in
shit.
with the safe one right there. Yeah, you can't go wrong with an EQ.
Because you get the perks of a spectral analyzer, albeit not as precise, but you get to see it on a map from 0 to 22,500 hertz of frequencies, and then you can see the ones that peak too much, and then cut like 2 or 3 decibels from there while sharpening it about 4% on the curve, and then dropping it and adjusting to taste depending on if you can still hear whatever's bothering you, and then dropping a little bit, and just you could do that 7 different. Technically 5 and 2 peaks at the very end, but 7 different layers where you can cut out or lower it or raise it or steep the incline or make it kind of pan out, whatever it is. Yeah, I like that one. That one's fucking amazing. That one's been my bread and butter. I'll tell you one thing: if I didn't have that, all of it would fall apart.
Yeah, I got one more. 2 more questions. one of those questions is I've heard the name plenty of times, but I want to know your take on where you come up with the name Demi God, and let the people know if you got any new projects coming out.
So Demi God Status is the way I came up with the name is that like I'm not trying to be a god, because a god's life is very it's very structured, you know, it's very predictable. It's very, there's no malice inside of them. There's no other side of the coin to them. It's just, this is how it is. They're the god of thunder. They're the god of music and happiness. They're the god of love. They're the god of, you know. So part of the demi part of it is knowing that I'm not a god, but I can be half of one, you know, through understanding that I am structured in the ways that I want to be. And there's another side of the coin to a lot of the things that I'm structured in the ways that I want to be. And then, so the status part of it is that a lot of artists that I work with, I try to tell them, it's like, we're going to put a demigod status on it. You know, I'm going to bring you to the point where I feel like you are reaching your potential as a god, but maybe there's some things you could learn from it. So maybe you're not a full one, you're a demigod on it. I'll bring that to the table for you. A demigod status. You know, and I have plans for the name altogether. Don't get attached to the name. There's an arc. There's a beginning and an end for everything. So.
Any music, anything you got coming out soon that you want the people to know about? Let them know.
I did a cipher with another podcast, ESMR Avengers. It's a song called "This Is What Happens." Should be coming up on everything: Spotify, Apple, iTunes, sometime after. No, it's September 18th. Yeah, I got a date. Where's my song?
Okay.
Yeah, September 18th. This Is What Happens. Demi God Status. I believe Caligula made the beat. I'm terrible with shit like this.
Hey, I haven't heard from that boy in a minute. I'll have to see what's up with him.
Yeah, we worked on this a minute ago. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you hold music like an old man. Like,
hey, man.
This is what I did back in the 70s. You see this right here?
Man, got me moving like a king do. Slow with big moves while I'm cooking up my Ginsu. Come on, man. Like, I move slow, man, but I make big moves. It's boom here, boom here.
Well, you're always cooking up stuff, but you'll hold something. You'll be like, yeah, no, this doesn't come out to spring. I'm gonna hold this.
Come on, man. You make me sound so pathological. I fucking hate it. It's true, but damn, man. No, it's true. Like, I'm very structured in the sense where it's like I want things to come out where I want them to come out. This is when this is happening. That's what that is happening. This is what this is happening. That it's very tangible for me, you know.
Absolutely.
I love to be in control of that, at least if nothing else, you know.
Absolutely. Always have creative control of your music and what you're putting out. This has been a pleasurable conversation. It's been our pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed this podcast, man. And I would tell anyone out there that's listening to this podcast, listen to it fully, man, because this brother has some things to say, man. I'm your boy Hawklyfe.
What up? It's Murrls.
Yeah. Demi out here. Thanks for having me, man. Like, this was great. I love talking to people that get it.
Oh, definitely, man. It was our pleasure, man. It's been a Chop It Up podcast. Chop it up. Let's talk.
Reunited in the times of such picturesque scenes. Can I get a witness to testify? Open your eyes, realize, electrify. get a witness to testify? Open your eyes, realize, electrify. Testify, open your eyes, realize, electrify. Testify, open your eyes, realize, electrify.